Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Battle Through the Heavens 2. Rebirth of Emperor Yang Part 26 based on novel. So let's start. The lacquered black energy column broke through the void at random. In just a moment, it came to the huge body of Yunlang. Yunlang naturally doesn't dare to despise this. Human-level fighting skills are not fun. Even with the strength of his 8-star and half emperor, he has to face it wholeheartedly. As soon as the huge body turns, it has turned into a human shape again. Only in this state can he make the fastest response. Yunlang knows that there is no way to avoid this attack, but to fight. Yunlang looked at the approaching black light column, and his eyelids trembled slightly, revealing the restlessness in his heart. Under the black light column, he felt a strong and extremely destructive force. The strength of this force is difficult to control even in this world. Is this another human-level fighting skill? I don't think you have enough fighting spirit in your body, but you still want to kill me with a blow of human-level fighting skill. It's really a fool's dream. Before the voice fell, Yunlang raised his hands, and the printing formula between his fingers changed rapidly. Mysterious printing formulas were played one by one in his hands, and the space in front of him was also distorted and transformed. The seemingly invisible space has become the most terrible defense at this moment. All the fighting spirit left in Yunlang's body poured out and gathered in the palm of Yunlang's hand. His body also became empty in an instant, and a feeling of collapse and weakness spread over his heart. In this regard, Yunlang ignored it in the slightest. He clapped it and bombarded the space in front of him. The fighting spirit between the palms seemed to find the pouring point, and the whole void was filled in an instant. In an instant, a spherical air shield appeared around Yunlang's body to cover Yunlang, but it's not over yet. The shield is actually absorbing the energy of heaven and earth between heaven and earth for its own use. Tiangang guard. Seeing this, Xiao Yan's pale face suddenly showed a touch of surprise. He also had a new view on Yunlang's strength. At the moment, he really showed all his strength. It's not surprising that the body of a half-emperor controls heaven and earth for itself, but this is ultimately the source of martial mainland. The power of rules is different from that of fighting spirit mainland. If you want to control heaven and earth freely, you still need the strength of fighting emperor territory. Now, Yunlang is able to control part of heaven and earth to help himself. Such means are really rare. Being able to control a part of heaven and earth in the half-emperor's territory is impossible if you don't have enough talent to be surprised. We can see the real strength of the split cloud wolf. Quietly, when the shield in front of Yunlang was just formed, the lacquer black energy column about Zhongshu wide also collided with it. Silence, between heaven and earth, even the sure sound of the wind blowing leaves also disappeared. The whole world returned to silence, just like the birth of chaos. You can't feel the breath of life, and there are no traces of death. Some are just a nothingness like silence. When the two touch each other, heaven and earth are surprised. The power is so powerful that even heaven and earth dare not produce the slightest disturbance. Xiao Yan poured all his fighting chi into the palm. The light in the palm flashed, and the gorgeous fire plate expanded again. The black energy light column also soared with it. The powerful and terrible power suddenly broke out and eroded towards the shield. At the junction of Buddha Nu reincarnation and the shield, a terrible tearing force is competing with each other. The black light column continues to decompose and disperse the energy of heaven and earth on the shield, and then it is swallowed by the light column and turned into one of the nutrients. The shield is also trying its best to devour the power of heaven and earth in this side of heaven and earth. The powerful tearing force turns all the energy of heaven and earth within 1,000 feet into a pure energy droplet, which is suspended above the shield to supplement the shield and resist the reincarnation of Buddha anger. With the help of heaven and earth energy, Yunlang is naturally very relaxed. Although it seems passive, it has always looked at Xiao Yan with a smile in the eyes of watching the play. It seems that he has seen victory waving to him. In this way, Xiao Yan's breath finally became weaker and weaker. The weakness in his body made him feel dizzy, but the strong soul force was still supporting him. The palm of Xiao Yan's left hand, which had been idle for a long time, turned over, and a jade bottle appeared in the palm of Xiao Yang's hand. A handful of the jade bottle was pinched and exploded, and more than 10 European Huichi pills appeared in the palm of Xiao Yang's hand. Without hesitation, Xiao Yang stuffed it into his mouth. In a moment, the surging pure fighting spirit poured into Xiao Yang's cyclone like a sea tide, and the exhausted fighting spirit was finally restored. On the other side, Yunlang's eyebrows were also slightly raised when he saw this scene, and then he turned into fierce. All his fighting chi poured out and controlled the shield in front of him. He was also very clear in his heart. As long as he could resist Xiao Yang's move, he would be the last winner. Looking at Xiao Yang again, although there is a supplement to the pill, after all, it is only a 9-grade chi recovery pill. Even if it is more, it is still a drop in the bucket for Xiao Yang now. In an instant, the little fighting spirit that has just recovered disappears again, which makes Xiao Yang feel some emotion. I'm afraid I have to find some imperial elixir to use. Now this strength depends on 9 elixir alone. Sure enough, it's still far from enough. His eyes narrowed slightly. Xiao Yang stared at the clouds and waves in the opposite shield. They looked at each other with 4 eyes. The space was suddenly distorted and trembled. Even if the semi-emperor strong man didn't have to fight, just one look could cause space changes. The semi-emperor strong man was really good. He was so strong. With a sneer, the momentum of clouds and waves soared, and the powerful soul power exploded. The soul power with the strength of 8.5 emperors is just a threat which annihilates all the momentum of Xiao Yang. Such strength is worthy of being the strength of 8.5 emperors. When Xiao Yang saw this, his original dignified face eased a lot in an instant, and a joking smile came up at the corners of his mouth. If it is to compete with Xiao Yang, this may make him dignified. If he wants to compete for soul power, Xiao Yang can only laugh it off. It's like a thin man looking for a giant to break his wrist. It's self-evident how the victory or defeat is. When the soul power of Yunlang was pressed strongly against Xiao Yang was not afraid at all. The soul power in his body was like the water of the Yellow River. In an instant, it condensed into a towering hand over Xiao Yang's head. With Xiao Yang's heart moving, the huge palm that covered the sky and blocked the sun came out in an instant and met with the soul power of Yunlang. The soul power of the herbalist is terrible. Although Yunlang is an 8.5-star emperor, his soul power has just been promoted to the soul of the empire, while Xiao Yang entered the soul of the empire as early as 10 years ago. We can imagine the gap. No. This human soul power has been in the empire for many years. I can't compete with it. When Yunlang saw Ling Qian's huge palm, he was also surprised. His face suddenly changed, and the light of fear flowed in the depths of his pupils. When his heart moved, he wanted to recover the power of his soul quickly. The changed look on Yunlang's face was also included in Xiao Yang's eyes. A sneer was raised at the corners of his mouth, and the look in his eyes suddenly became fierce. Now I want to retreat. Do you think it's possible? Emperor Realm Soul Skill, Towering Hand. Towering Hand, this is a soul summoning skill that Xiao Yan found from the endless scrolls left by the ancient Emperor Tuosha. It is the top soul skill in the whole fighting spirit continent. Xiao Yang also knows it. This towering hand is also very useful to Xiao Yang. Now, once it is used, its power is also quite amazing. With a sneer, the yin formula in Xiao Yang's left hand changed rapidly. In an instant, Ling Qian's huge palm moved according to Xiao Yang's mind and grasped Yunlang's mighty soul force like waves. Yunlang was also like the soul was hit hard. His white and thin face was distorted in an instant, which looked terrible. Yunlang suddenly clenched his palms to resist the heart-piercing pain from the soul, but he didn't forget to control the shield in front of him to avoid being taken advantage of by Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang's mouth was tickled. This cloud wave is not stupid. It is more clear before life and death. No wonder he can become the overlord of Lianyun Mountain. With the soul restraint, Xiao Yang naturally relaxed a little. Coupled with the mountain reserve of Huichi Pil, it was stable a little in a short time. Yunlang is also the overlord of this party. He is full of pride in his heart. How can he be willing to be made by Xiao Yang? he is cruel in his heart. His muscles are as tight as steel, his teeth are clenched, and his eyes instantly become scarlet. The mind suddenly moved. In a complete roar, the connection between Yun Lang and the power of that part of the soul was finally forcibly cut off. Roar? Damn human, die! Sirius roars the moon, roar. With a roar, the clouds and waves turned into the body and roared up to the sky. Suddenly, the heaven and earth changed color. The bright day also turned into a dark in an instant. A bright moon stood in the sky, and the slightest cold light shone on the heaven and earth. In the dark, there was a silver-white giant wolf standing behind the split cloud wolf, and the smell of terror spread from the split cloud wolf, let Xiao Yang's face change in an instant. Even Luo Jin on the ground, his face is dignified at the moment and he can almost twist out of the water. This split cloud wolf has the talent and magic power of the Sirius family of Xiao Yan, Sirius Xiao Yan. It's troublesome. Brother Yang's fighting spirit is weak at this time. It's very difficult to defeat the split cloud wolf. The split cloud wolf has the help of this round of bright moon. The speed of restoring fighting spirit is determined to be unmatched by Brother Yang. I'm afraid this battle will be dangerous. Luo Jin obviously knows more about the move of splitting cloud wolf, but even so, he has no way in his heart. Although Luo Jin also knows a little about the Sirius roaring moon, he is only one-sided and has no way at all. Moreover, he is seriously injured at the moment and can't help Xiao Yang at all. If he goes up forcibly, I'm afraid he won't help Xiao Yang, but will become a burden to Xiao Yang. Although he was helpless in his heart, Luo Jin still told Xiao Yang what he knew with a voice. Xiao Yang was grateful for it. Although he didn't know how to deal with it, he also had a bottom in his heart. He could let go if he started. Xiao Yang felt the gradually recovering breath of the split cloud wolf. He couldn't help tightening his heart. If he continued like this, I'm afraid the split cloud wolf would really stick to the end. However, the supply of pills is still too little after all. The half-emperor's body can't afford European pills anyway. His eyes twinkled slightly. Although he was reluctant to give up in his heart, it was the situation. If he didn't use it, I'm afraid Xiao Yang would fall here today. The tug-of-war between Buddha's anger reincarnation and Tiangong's guard is still going on, but Xiao Yang's mind is moving. The fire seal at the center of his eyebrow flickers, and then a black flame flies out of Xiao Yang's eyebrow and falls into Xiao Yang's palm. Once the lacquer black flame appeared, a terrible suction spread from around it. All the media between heaven and earth moved with it, which was forcibly sucked and pulled over, and then flashed slightly on the surface of the flame and disappeared. When Luo Jin saw the flame for the first time, his tense and dignified face changed again, and the look of the flame in Xiao Yang's hand also turned into a strong shock. This is different fire. This is the second in the list of different fire. Nothingness swallowing inflammation. Nothingness swallowing inflammation is the second contrary existence in the different fire list, but he never thought that such a powerful independent existence would be in Xiao Yang's body. If it was spread, I'm afraid the whole continent would be a sensation. No. Although this strange fire has the breath of nothingness and swallowing inflammation, the momentum of the flame and the power of swallowing are far from swallowing heaven and earth. Looking at the nothingness swallowing inflammation in Xiao Yang's hand in the sky, Luo Jin raised a doubt in his heart. This group of nothingness swallowing inflammation is definitely not the source of different fire. At this point, Luo Jin's eyes looking at Xiao Yang changed wildly again. His eyes stared at Xiao Yang, and his expression was full of endless surprise. This flame. This flame is. It is an original fire of nothingness swallowing inflammation. You know, if Xiao Yang can swallow nothingness completely, it can only show that Xiao Yang has extraordinary talent and is willing to follow such things against the sky. But now this strange fire is just a wisp of original fire of nothingness swallowing Yang's Numenon. Although its power is much different from that of the Numenon, if Xiao Yang obtains it from the Numenon by his own strength, it is really enough to calm people's soul. Nothingness swallowing inflammation is the second in the list of different fires. How can he allow his original fire to be occupied by others, but Xiao Yang can get this trace? How can it not be shocking? The power of nothingness swallowing inflammation is very clear to the whole continent. Xiao Yan's desire to forcibly obtain it is simply whimsical. Now, Xiao Yan has really taken out a trace of the original fire of nothingness swallowing inflammation, which shows that Xiao Yan has a terrible talent to let nothingness swallowing inflammation give up. And the same suspicious and uncertain, there is the cracked cloud wolf standing in front of Xiao Yan. Its pair of blood-colored eyes the size of a copper bell have been staring at the flame since Xiao Yan sacrificed the painted black flame. In the seemingly insignificant flame, it felt an extremely terrible power, which was enough to destroy the world. Xiao Yang stood on the void in front of him, but he thought of the black yang that disappeared from the sky. That guy, Gu Lao, said he would get a fortune. I don't know how he is at the moment, but I think he's better than me, ha ha. With a sigh in his heart, Xiao Yang focused his attention on the nothingness swallowing inflammation in front of him. Although he was reluctant to give up, there was no other way to deal with the current situation. The powerful and unrivaled soul power enters the source of different fire like fairy silk. In front of Xiao Yang at the moment, it is like nothing. The power of the soul poured into the strange fire and quickly found the trace of soul mark left in the past. After a little hesitation, my heart moved. The soul mark dissipated slowly under Xiao Yang's gaze. Although this scene is not in the eyes of Split Cloud Wolf and Luo Jin, they can probably guess one or two through the change of the breath of different fire. Xiao Yang unexpectedly cut off the connection with nothingness swallowing inflammation in his hand. Shit! This guy, is he crazy? That's nothingness swallowing inflammation. How can he bear to let go? At this moment, even Luo Jin couldn't help but burst out a dirty word in his heart. Xiao Yan's behavior is really enough to hit people. Bang! With a dull sound, Xiao Yang's soul force naturally withdrew, while the nothingness swallowing inflammation in his hand suddenly burst out. A sense of burning the sky filled the whole sky in an instant, and the endless void suddenly became distorted. Luo Jin also instantly felt as if he had been thrown into the stove at this moment. The skin on his body surface quickly became red, so he had to quickly mobilize a few fighting spirit in his body to resist it. The power of different fire is so powerful that it is only 1/10 of the Numenon. It can lead to the abnormal state of heaven and earth. Such a power can be called terror. When Xiao Yang cut off the connection with the different fire in his palm, thousands of miles away, there was a dark mysterious space. A black figure with dark flame burning all over and mysterious runes painted on the body surface suddenly opened his lightly closed eyes and looked in the direction of Xiao Yang at the moment. Did he cut off the connection with me? In this way, there will be a lot of trouble in the future. But it's good. Let me see if Yu Yang Emperor can make me bow my head. Judging from his words, this person is the Black Yang who disappeared in the sky immediately after he became emperor that day. Once the connection with nothingness swallowing inflammation was cut off, the power of different fire also completely broke out. The endless swallowing power, even the nothingness, was swallowed and turned into a dark nothingness. Xiao Yang has controlled the origin of this strange fire for many years. Even if he cuts off the connection now, he is still beating in Xiao Yang's palm. The fighting spirit between Xiao Yang's palms suddenly emerged, and half of the already small fighting spirit in his body was injected into different fire by Xiao Yang. With the support of Xiao Yang's fighting spirit, nothingness swallowing inflammation burns more violently, and the whole world becomes hot and dry in an instant. On the earth, the original green grass leaves and trees turn into a pile of powder in an instant. Between heaven and earth, wisps of naked eye visible heaven and earth energy, like being guided by something, gathered madly towards the nothingness swallowing inflammation in Xiao Yang's palm. Hui, I'll leave it to you. Xiao Yang said to Hui in his heart, and then put his energy on the Buddha Anga reincarnation in his palm. Seeing the surging energy of heaven and earth around Xiao Yang, the split cloud wolf couldn't help tightening his heart. Unexpectedly, Xiao Yang still had such means. If he really succeeded, I'm afraid the war would be really dangerous. The bright moon leads the stars. There was a long roar in the sky. Above the clouds, the bright moon suddenly burst out a burst of bright light. Then, the power of a moon fell from the sky like a bright meteor and landed on the body surface of the split cloud wolf. Suddenly, the breath of the split cloud wolf suddenly soared, and the exhausted fighting spirit in the body also began to recover rapidly. I saw the split cloud wolf look up to the sky again with a wolf roar. The endless power of the moon was like a waterfall, like a star river, and was completely swallowed by it. Then, a terrible smell of destruction came from its mouth. The wolf roars for 9 days, and the 8 wastelands are broken. Die? At the moment when the split cloud wolf lowered his head, Xiao Yan saw a bright white light like a planet in his mouth. When he aimed at Xiao Yan's Buddha anger reincarnation, the bright light burst out suddenly. A dazzling light column burst out from his mouth, instantly smashed the Qiangang guard and blasted with Xiao Yan's Buddha anger reincarnation. In an instant, Xiao Yan's Buddha anger reincarnation was forcibly crushed by the light column. Xiao Yan's figure based on the void could not help being pushed back by this powerful force. The bright white light column also rushed forward all the way until Xiao Yan was tens of feet in front of him. Then he stopped slowly, but just like this, Xiao Yan was already exhausted. The devouring and refining of Hui behind him was really not enough, and his strength was not enough. All the devouring supplies were useless to Xiao Yan. Ha ha ha. Mankind. This is the end of you provoking my Yun Lang. If you fight with me, you will be like an ant, but unfortunately, you are too arrogant. Don't think you can fight against a strong man far superior to you with some strength and means. Remember this. Don't provoke me in the next life, ha ha ha. Human beings die? The split cloud wolf looked at Xiao Yan, who was at the end of his powerful crossbow, and felt refreshed. Today's anger must be washed with the blood of Xiao Yan and Luo Jin. The split cloud wolf screamed again, and the bright white light column in his mouth was suddenly shocked. The power on it was more terrible. The light column that had just stopped rushed forward again, and the Buddha's anger reincarnation is bound to be broken. In such a hurry, Xiao Yan breathed out a mouthful of turbid qi, looked at the approaching white light column, and said to Qiyo in an almost pleading tone, Elder Gu, I know you stick to your duty and will not help me defeat the enemy, but I have a request today. I hope you can agree. Gu was curious when he heard the speech. As long as he didn't violate his duty, he could borrow something, but the key is that I don't have anything to borrow. In desperation, Gu couldn't help asking Xiao Yan. Tell me what you want to borrow. If you have, it doesn't matter if you borrow it as long as it doesn't violate my duty. Xiao Yan looked a little bright in his eyes when he heard the speech, and his heart was relieved. He was pale, and his face finally eased a little. Sir, I want to borrow your bone spirit for a cold fire. With a slight change in his eyes, Gu couldn't help but make a sound in surprise, but even with another smile. I almost forgot, but you still have the first big fighting skill, Buddha Anger Lotus. As long as you have strong enough different fire, don't say it's a human level fighting skill, I'm afraid it's a higher level fighting skill. Before the words fell, a dark white flame appeared in front of Xiao Yan. Seeing this, Xiao Yan thanked Gu in his heart, and then looked at nothingness and swallowing Yan again. A big mouth, a fierce suction came from his mouth. Xiao Yan swallowed the nothingness into his mouth. The burning formula in his body worked quickly. In just a few breaths, all the heaven and earth energy around Xiao Yan was swallowed into his body by Xiao Yan. Drink. Buddha anger reincarnation, burst. Feeling the fighting spirit in his body, Xiao Yan's complexion gradually returned to ruddy. The palm of his right hand was shocked, and a surging fighting spirit burst out. After the black light column trembled for a while, it exploded from the end, and the white light column was forcibly bombarded into countless segments by the vast force. A moment later, a fierce heat wave burning the sky suddenly swept the world. This time, the split cloud wolf is a lot smarter. If he has suffered a loss once, he will not eat the second time. The huge wolf head roared up to the sky, and the endless power of the moon fell from the bright moon, and then was swallowed by the split cloud wolf. On one side, Xiao Yan also controlled the cold fire of bone spirit with one hand. He threw nothingness, swallowing inflammation in the palm of his hand. His mind moved, and the strange fire in his body poured out fiercely. 4 groups of flames appeared in front of Xiao Yan. Bone Spirit Cold Fire, Nothingness Swallowing Inflammation, Pure Lotus Demon Fire, The Last Flame, Emperor Inflammation. This time, the Buddha Anger Lotus is bound to be the most powerful combination of Xiao Yan's fighting skills since he created the Buddha Anger Lotus. The top 3 in the list of different fires, the Unpredictable Bone Yu, the Bone Spirit Cold Fire, these 4 different fires will become Xiao Yan's most powerful killing moves. Does this really work? You've never tried. Besides, is it really okay with your current internal condition? Suddenly, Hui's voice came from one side, which made Xiao Yan look a little. Holding such a huge force in his hand, Xiao Yan naturally felt incomparable pressure, and the fighting spirit refined by Xiao Yan earlier was not pure enough because of time. In this way, it was even more difficult for Xiao Yan to integrate different fires. Dare not have the slightest hesitation. Although Hui's words are true, this is the situation now. If Xiao Yan doesn't fight, there will be only a dead end, but his heart of Xiao Yan is more than that. However, there are more mysteries waiting for him to explore in the Yuanwu continent. How can Xiao Yan be willing to be here? Guyu's duty and the pursuit of the black-robed man are all the questions in Xiao Yan's heart. Xiao Yan's most unwilling questions are whether he is the god's will or a conspiracy trap, and why the people in black are so familiar with him. Therefore, he must go on, and sooner or later he will get rid of the clouds and see the source of all that. Xiao Yan turned his hands over, then slapped them hard, and forcibly fused the nothingness-swallowing inflammation in his hands with the cold fire of Bone Spirit. The collision of the 2 different fires made Xiao Yan's whole space a violent turbulence. The powerful force from the forced integration made Xiao Yan's tiger mouth crack a little. Before a trace of blood gushed out, it was quickly dried into a scar by the terrible high temperature. At this time, Xiao Yan didn't have the mind to pay attention to these. All the terrible soul forces poured out and tried to control the different fire in his hand and try his best to stabilize it at a balance point. The 2 different fires were gradually integrated by Xiao Yan. The strength of different fire makes Xiao Yan seem to be interested in the integration process. In addition, Years Say More Here, a friend's book, Dupo, is also very good, and years have also chased the legend of the universe. I hope you can like it. This video will end here.